What is going on, my Houston Texans family? We got some breaking news. According to Ian Rappaport, the Houston Texans have agreed to terms on a 3-year contract extension with standout safety Jalen Pitre as he gets a roughly $39 million deal. Houston locks in another key member of its secondary. First Derek Stingley Jr., now Pitre. Houston continues to pay its young core. Look, let me know in the comments down below if you like this deal. I do. Because when you talk about the swarm mentality, for those of you who don't know, it is an acronym used by head coach D'Amico Ryans. It stands for special work ethic and relentless mindset. And Jalen Pitre fits that to a T. When you talk about locker room guys, leadership guys, you're talking about Jalen Pitre. And in his, in his new nickel safety linebacker role, Jalen Pitre was one of the best defensive players for the Houston Texans in 2024 before going out with a season-ending torn pec. His stats in just 12 games: 65 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, a career high, 1 forced fumble, 8 pass breakups, a career high, and 1 interception. We saw the difference when Jalen Pitre was on the field, when Jalen Pitre was off the field. That extra nastiness, that extra bolts of energy just wasn't there when number 5 was off the field. And that's okay. Players like that are hard to replicate, which is why I like this deal. And I understand some of the drawbacks, some of the complaints. For only 12 games, you made him the highest paid nickel cornerback in the NFL. Remember, guys, Jalen Pitre was coming off of a horrible 2023. We were talking about him fighting for his, for his starting role. Now we're talking about Jalen Pitre being one of the most important pieces on this Houston Texans defense. It's just so crazy how 1 year goes. With that being said, someone brought up injury concerns. I don't see that. 17 games played in 2022, 15 games in 2023, and as I said, only 12 games this year, season cut short due to a torn pec. But ladies and gentlemen, why I also love the move is because the Houston Texans are locking up key guys and guys that they drafted. Nick Caserio gave a second contract to Nico Collins. Nick Caserio gave a second contract to Derek Stingley. Nick Caserio gave a second contract to Brevin Jordan, 1-year deal, but we'll put that away. And now a second-year contract to Jalen Pitre. The guys that Nick Caserio is selecting in the draft, they are becoming key players for this Houston Texans team. It's not like it was before when we release one guy and then they become an all-star for either the Eagles, the Broncos, or the Ravens. Which is why I want to commend General Manager Nick Caserio on another job well done. Getting a second contract in the NFL was hard, and you are giving it to someone who you selected. So what does that tell me? It tells me that General Manager Nick Caserio knows what the hell he is doing during the draft process, which gets me excited for the future of C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson Jr. and company, because as they get older, as they start getting into their prime, I know their players is only going to be insane. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'll talk about it. Ian Rappaport reported that the Houston Texans agreed to terms on a 3-year contract extension with standout safety Jalen Pitre as he gets a roughly $39 million deal. Houston locks in another key member of its secondary, first Derek Stingley Jr., now Pitre. Houston continues to pay its young core, and it's not like this young core doesn't deserve it. I really do like this move the more and more that I talk about it. But like I said, you guys let me know in the comments down below. Do you like the Jalen Pitre contract extension? Do you hate it? For more Houston Texans content, you guys know what to do. They will free and follow me for more. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.